Hi, what's up? My name is Sebastian Malden, and today I'll be doing my presentation over Module 1, Project 1, where we were assigned to play the role of a IT administrator who is working with Next Gen Solutions and trying to basically get their studio and their squad set up for success using virtual machine to emulate setting up two different two different iOSs with that being Linux, which was for the developer roles, and then Windows, which were for the project managers and the administrative roles. So I used VMware to get all this done. I want to show you some quick I want to show you a mixture between videos and screenshots to illustrate what I did and how I got all of that done. So let's start real quick because I know time is scarce. All right, so on the first off, again, I used VMware VirtualBox Manager, and I was able to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, get the ball rolling a little bit easier than I was with my first attempt at um VirtualBox. So here's so I first started, I installed Linux. The Linux one that I installed was Ubuntu. That was a relatively straightforward process there. It was just basically signing that on using the ISO that I downloaded straight from Linux, and yeah, that was a relatively straightforward process on that one. And then from there, I was able to get Ubuntu pretty much rock and rolling. So yeah, that was pretty good. On the Windows side of things, that's where everything went a little bit wonky. So on the Linux side, I had initial troubles with a signing in without a license code. So I kind of had to circumvent that and use a whole lot of a mixture between Google, Chat GPT, YouTube videos, and figure out how to install Windows without the necessary license code. But we were able to kind of get that done here, and I was able to sign in with the two required accounts, both the admin account and the project manager account. So that was good. So this was the administrator account. The other account I just showed previously was the project manager account for Windows. So yeah, that was pretty good. Let's move forward here. Now, one of the assignments was also to create a virtual network between the two operating systems. So what I did is basically created a static static IP address for each operating system, whether it be for one for Ubuntu and one for the Windows in VMware. And so I used that, and I was able to kind of link together, basically get them to communicate with each other by using my custom virtual network. What's the word for it? Dang it, terminology. The the virtual network IP host address. So I was able to kind of do that and get the ball rolling there. And let me show you some videos here of all of that. So this was my video of the well, before we do that, give me 1 second. Let me All right, so to get back on track here, I want to also show you, before I show you the ping success between those two infrastructures, I want to show you my network topography diagram real quick. And so let me see. All right, there we go. That popped up. So here's the network topography diagram where it kind of illustrates a lot of the a little bit more of the details and nuances of the operating system that I use, being OS Linux, Ubuntu for the devs network, the devs workstation. The memory that I had was 4.1 gigs, processor to hard drive space with 20 gigs, network adapter being the custom NAT that I configured for both the matching custom nav that I configured for both the Linux and the Windows side of things. So I did that for the Linux side. On the Windows side, for the project managers and the administrative workstation, I basically used Windows 10 with 4.1 gigs. The processor being 2, the hard drive being 64 gigs, and the network adapter being the custom NAT that I created with the static IP. So so the virtual machines were able to be connected both through a installed Google Drive and a custom NAT network. Communication happened basically through the files in the drive, through pings, and through the command prompts, both on the Linux side with the terminal command terminal, and on the Windows side with the command prompt. I was able to get both of those communications going there. But here's my network topography. I know I'm short on time, so I'm trying to rush through this really quick. Here is, I want to also illustrate. Give me 1 second, because I want to show. Okay, so let me show a video really quick of the ping that I was able to do that I was able to do where I got them to talk. So this was the IP address that I was able to enter into Ubuntu, and at first the ping, like, let me pause real quick. So this was a successful ping from the Ubuntu side of the things. At first, everything was, I had a really big hiccup, and I realized that my hiccup was corresponding with the Windows firewall problem. Evidently, there was a couple of things that I needed to enable, like there was the file and printer sharing option in Windows that I had to enable to basically get the pings to work from both sides of the fence. Once I did that, everything was cracking and it was really good. But it was, I think, my biggest takeaway is that I didn't know a lot of this, but through trial and error, also hard dedication, I was able to troubleshoot a lot of things and actually get the ball rolling. So that was the ping on the Ubuntu side of things. Let me really quickly showcase the Google Drive. So this is the Google Drive from this is the Google Drive from the Windows side of the fence. Let me So in this video, you're seeing the classroom that this was the classroom assignment from our first one. I was able to install Google Drive natively straight on the OS. So I didn't even have to use the web version of that, even though I think that's a lot more efficient. But I know that that's not the crux, or what the meaning of this project. But here we go. So I did the Google Drive part, and then I was able to access on the Ubuntu side of the things. I was able to do the same thing. This is the Google Drive side, and this is the exact same files from the same Google Drive that you saw earlier. Give me 1 second. Let me see what happened there. Okay. Yeah. So skipping ahead real quick. Yeah, these are the exact same files here. The same classroom that folder that I illustrated in Windows. This is the exact same one. So yeah, that's kind of what that was the illustration of the Google Drive, the NAT, the pinging that was able to work. Really quickly, I'm running a little over, so here's my big takeaway from this. I think this assignment really taught me to troubleshoot, and really taught me that I may not get a whole lot initially, but I need to kind of keep persevering and keep trying. I think the one thing that I would do to enable this to be better, as far as security wise, would probably be just more knowledge on the firewall side of things, and also maybe VPNs. That would probably go a long way as well. Anyways, that is my video for all this. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sebastian Malden, and until next time, bye.